There are voices that entertain, and then there are voices that stay with you long after the song ends. Vince Gill belongs firmly in the latter category. Known for timeless songs like Go Rest High, On That Mountain, his music has offered comfort to countless people navigating grief, love, and everything in between. With more than 2 decades of awards and recognition behind him, his legacy isn't built on spectacle, but on sincerity. What many listeners don't realize, however, is how deeply his life experiences have shaped that voice. Behind the calm stage presence is a man who has walked through quiet heartbreak, difficult choices, and unexpected turns. His journey isn't just about success in country music. It's about resilience, emotional honesty, and staying true to oneself when life doesn't go as planned. A childhood marked by sudden change. Growing up in Norman, Oklahoma, Vince Gill's early life was filled with simplicity, family dinners, school days, and the gentle joy of learning music alongside his father. But everything shifted when he was just 11 years old. A devastating accident left his older half-brother Bob with severe injuries that permanently altered his life. The vibrant sibling Vince admired was suddenly no longer able to communicate or live independently. For a young boy, the emotional weight of witnessing such a transformation was profound. The atmosphere at home changed, filled with quiet strength and unspoken sorrow. That experience didn't just shape Vince's childhood, it shaped his emotional world. Years later, that depth would find its way into his songwriting, giving his music a rare authenticity that resonates with listeners who have faced loss of their own. Turning pain into meaningful music. As Vince Gill grew older and pursued music seriously, the emotional imprint of his childhood never left him. When his brother passed away years later, it stirred memories that had quietly lived within him for decades. Instead of turning away from that pain, Vince leaned into it, expressing it through his music. Songs began to carry not just melodies, but stories. Stories of absence, memory, and enduring love. His ability to translate deeply personal experiences into universal emotions became one of his greatest strengths. Listeners didn't just hear his songs, they felt them. It's this emotional transparency that set him apart in an industry often focused on commercial appeal. For Vince, music became more than a career. It became a way to process life, honor the past, and connect with others on a profoundly human level. The decision that defined his path. In the late 1980s, Vince Gill faced a moment that could have completely changed his career. He was offered a chance to join a globally successful rock band, a move that promised fame, financial security, and worldwide recognition. For many artists, it would have been an easy decision. But Vince paused. He realized that while the opportunity was exciting, it didn't align with who he truly wanted to be as an artist. He chose instead to continue forging his own path, even though it meant uncertainty and slower progress. That decision required courage and self-awareness. It wasn't just about turning down fame, it was about choosing authenticity over convenience. Looking back, that choice became a defining moment, allowing him to build a career rooted in personal expression rather than external expectations. Finding success on his own terms. After years of steady effort, Vince Gill's breakthrough finally came with music that reflected his true voice. His songs began reaching audiences in a deeper way, not because they followed trends, but because they felt genuine. Success didn't arrive overnight, but when it did, it carried meaning. His work earned recognition not only for its musical quality, but for its emotional depth. Awards followed, along with a growing fan base that appreciated his honesty. What made his rise unique was that it didn't feel manufactured. It felt earned. Vince wasn't trying to fit into the industry. He was quietly reshaping it in his own way. His journey became proof that staying true to yourself, even when it's difficult, can lead to something far more lasting than quick success: love, growth, and public scrutiny. Vince Gill's personal life also unfolded in the public eye, bringing its own set of challenges. His relationship with fellow musician Amy Grant drew attention, not just because of their talent, but because of the timing and circumstances surrounding their connection. While the public narrative often focused on controversy, the reality was more nuanced. Two individuals, each navigating complicated personal lives, found a connection rooted in understanding and emotional support. Over time, their relationship evolved into a strong partnership built on mutual respect. Their eventual marriage marked a new chapter, one defined not by headlines but by quiet commitment. Vince handled the scrutiny with characteristic grace, choosing not to engage in public debates but instead letting his actions and integrity speak for themselves. Stepping into a legendary legacy. Years later, Vince Gill faced another unexpected chapter when he was invited to perform with the Eagles following the loss of one of their founding members. Stepping into such a role came with immense pressure. Rather than trying to replicate what came before, Vince approached it with humility. He focused on honoring the music while contributing his own voice in a respectful way. Audiences responded warmly, recognizing the sincerity behind his performance. Though not everyone agreed with the decision, Vince remained steady in his purpose. For him, it wasn't about replacing anyone. It was about preserving something meaningful for fans. Once again, he demonstrated his ability to navigate change with quiet confidence and respect for both tradition and authenticity. Standing strong through life's challenges, life continued to test Vince in deeply personal ways, particularly through health challenges faced by his wife. During difficult moments, he stepped away from his professional commitments without hesitation, prioritizing family above all else. His role shifted from performer to caregiver, offering support and strength when it mattered most. These experiences revealed another side of Vince Gill, one defined by loyalty, patience, and compassion. Rather than speaking loudly about these challenges, he lived through them quietly, allowing his actions to reflect his values. It's in these moments, away from the spotlight, that his character becomes most evident. His ability to remain grounded through uncertainty speaks to a resilience that extends far beyond music, a legacy built on truth and heart. Today, Vince Gill continues to create music, but his perspective has evolved. He's no longer chasing charts or recognition. Instead, he writes from a place of reflection and honesty, focusing on what truly matters. His songs have become even more introspective, shaped by a lifetime of experiences, both joyful and difficult. What sets him apart is not just his talent, but his willingness to remain vulnerable. He understands that music has the power to connect people, to heal, and to remind us that we're not alone. Vince Gill's legacy isn't just about awards or hit songs. It's about authenticity, quiet strength, and a lifelong commitment to telling the truth through music.